Hello, everyone. Hope we're having a great start to the 4th of July weekend. Tomorrow is July 4th. So, here we are. And this is the Rider Time podcast here on the Morphin Network. And we are here to discuss the one and only Kamen Rider Gotchard, episode 42. Uh, Pilot's search for the 100-second body and a brother's feelings. Yeah. This episode, we finally get a Sabimaru focus episode, but is it that good of an episode though? It's an alright episode. It's an alright episode. You know, it could have been better. But I don't know what to say. This last episode was okay. It was kind of iffy. It is what it is. But yeah, just I don't know. I was hoping they would do with more with Sabimaru, but actually, all things considered, we have some interesting ideas in here. It's just, why even is there 100-second Kemi? And again, I stand by what I said before. There's going to be a 100-second Kemi. Why can't there be an 108th Kemi? Just make it a nice round number, 108. You know, it just feels weird that we're just now introducing like a new Kemi, and I really hope it's not just going to be just this one Kemi, because think about the outcome of that. Let's see. Because it's just a turtle with a cannon. It's literally Blastoise. It's literally Blastoise as the final Kemi. Like, it's not really that. Is it really that special? What's next? A fire lizard as a Kemi? A toad plant as a Kemi? You know, that's what we're going with. That's what we're going with. We're just making Pokemon as Kemis. We're like, last week we did a Pokerap. This week we literally have an actual Pokemon as a Kemi. Like, it's so on the nose. It hurt. My nose hurts from it. Yeah. So in this episode, it's like it's like everyone's like, oh yeah, we're having a good time. And I had to be okay. So it's like, wait, if Jermaine's dead, why did I not receive his powers? I don't know. I didn't receive his powers either. They're like ripping off the plot of Pokemon, the movie Power of One, where it's like, oh, Moltres was captured by that collector dude. That means Zapdos gets Fire Island. Oh, Zapdos is captured. Guess Articuno gets Lightning Island or Thunder Island, whatever it was called in the movie. But you hear it's like, oh no, it's like Grayon ripped off the plot of Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, and I'm glad I actually finished playing Dawn. That was my guitar. Don't worry about it. They ripped off Dawn of Sorrow, because if you've ever played Dawn of Sorrow, it's like there's like these two other characters that are supposed to be like vessels to inherit Dracula's power, and one of them gets defeated like really early on, and Soma absorbs his soul, and then there's like a cutscene like in like two of the three endings, where you go into a hidden room where what's her name? Not Camilla. Like what's her name? That one chick. The female lead villain in Dawn of Sorrow, she appears to kill Soma's girlfriend, and like in the bad ending, like he gives into his Dracula powers and becomes like the evil king. But in the good ending, turns out that it's not really Soma's girlfriend, it's a doppelganger, and they try to trick Soma. But then Dimitri, who you absorbed earlier, takes over the soul, takes over the body of the doppelganger, sort of reviving him. So yeah, Grayon ripped off Dimitri in that regard. It's like, and basically he wants to turn his two masters into dolls, and he wants to find El Dorado, which is a really dumb idea. If there was an actual El Dorado in the series, it might have been an interesting concept. But here, it's not so much he wants to make El Dorado. He wants to find El Dorado. It's more like he wants to become King Midas from Greek mythology and just turn everything into El Dorado, which kind of takes away from the majesty of having a real El Dorado. Speaking of Dorado, Kachuki is not in this episode. He was in the previous episode. I did not bring it up because it wasn't important. How crazy is it that Kachuki is in almost every important episode except this one? Yeah, so our main characters are like fooling around in the lab. And I do mean fooling around. Like Hotar was like holding a test tube that's bubbling with his bare hand. If you know anything about lab safety, you do not be doing that. First of all, glass is quick, safety first. But no, actually, hold on, I got it right here. Safety first, then, and also you don't hold it with your bare hands. You have to wear gloves. And you're probably going to need a clamp to hold it onto from a distance, because if that thing goes off, God knows what's going to happen to you. And that's exactly what happened. Rene got frozen in place. And I have to say, the actress has really good muscle work, because she's holding that specific leg raised pose for a really long time. So, like, props to her. Like if you knew the endurance it takes to make that specific pose and just hold it isometrically for an extended period of time, God bless you. I wish I had your abs. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna hold the plank for 3 minutes, but that's not relevant. But you are a teenager. You know, you didn't have extensive conditioning to be able to hold a plank for even a minute, for all I know. So, props to you. And doing it with one leg raise, that's even harder. Like, how do you handle that? But yeah, they find out there's a mysterious 100-second Kemi in an area that's near where Sabimaru grew up. So naturally, just like how Renge had her Karama Village episode, Sabimaru is gonna have his Blastoise lab episode. You know, you could make a Pokemon game out of this. You could have like Ninetales Village version and Blastoise lab version. They could be a decent complement, you know, like ancient versus future. I mean, they kind of did that in Black and White and in Sun and Moon and in Scarlet and Violet. Man, Pokemon really ran out of ideas, didn't they? Well, yeah, so the boys go back to, you know, the laboratory where Sabimaru grew up in, and it turns out Sabimaru has a brother who's a total jerk. And like, turns out the whole point of this laboratory, which honestly reminds me of that evil psychic lab from Kamen Rider Agito the movie. They basically, it's like they're trying to combine the ability to make chemis with AI. First of all, using AI, controversial, but also you are trying to create artificial life forms, so it's thematic to say the least. But what's really interesting is that the head of the laboratory, she has this anger towards Grayon, so much so that she said, "Yeah, we're not working with the Alliance because they're deeply associated with Grayon." True, no one brought that up since Grayon was defeated. No one brought it up. I'm glad someone finally did. And she even like breaks a photo and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, is this obsession with creating an artificial Kim, which by the way has been forbidden arts for 10 years? is this does Grayon's very existence have anything to do with that? Like, it's because Grayon is an artificial life form. They wanted to reverse engineer so they could make their own army of artificial Grayons. Like, seriously, like, let me know, like, what's going on here. This is some interesting thing that we could be getting into, and this is something they should have done back when Grayon was first there, because Grayon was such a boring character, and now like we have a reason to make him interesting. We just gotta like not like drop the ball on this. You just gotta not drop the ball on that. But they will. They have this amazing track record of dropping the ball on it. So this mysterious Kemi ends up showing up, and so naturally the two boys, because Rine is frozen, and later on Renge also becomes frozen, by the way, they have to fight this mysterious 100-second Kemi, which is a turtle with a cannon. And that's when Sabimaru realizes, oh snap, this is a Kemi that I drew. Oh my god, this is a Kemi that I made. Someone ripped off my DeviantArt account and turned it into an AI-generated schlock. I'm going places with this. But yeah, so yes, turns out Sabimaru drew Kamedon in his like when he was a kid, and now it's an actual amalgam, and Amalgam's host is none other than the head of the laboratory, because she's that angry with Grayon, and she doesn't want to give up on her artificial Kemi experiment. This gives me a lot of Shao Tucker vibes, and I really don't want to hope this doesn't go in a Shao Tucker direction, especially since there actually is a little girl with her own Isaac in this episode, and she's following Spanner around the entire episode. And I'm like, this girl better not become a Kemi. Like, it's like, can you imagine? It's like, oh my god, a Kemi that can speak English. And by the way, that's an actual experiment they were doing here. Like, we want to get Kemis to speak English, not just ZQ vampire. I mean, like have all Kemis have the ability to communicate with humans. So it's like, so you want to create a talking Kemi Mara. Spanner. I want to play with you, Spanner. Like, they very well could have went in that direction. I am hoping they don't have the balls to do that, because I'm going to be so mad if they did. But given the personality of that scientist, I would be surprised if she went full Shao Tucker on that. Spanner, I want to play with you, Spanner. Oh man, I'm just like dying just thinking about that. Oh my god. Oh my god. But yeah, long and short of it, they do find out she is the Amalgam. They defeat the Amalgam. They absorb it back into its card form, but they can't celebrate for too long because the card, just like some black ooze, like spills out of the card and goes through the ground. So it's like, but why is this card blank? What's going on? And then an evil spirit. By the trotting of his toes, something wicked this way goes. It's Grayon. It's Grayon. Grayon is gonna approach the laboratory. Honestly, I don't think there's really much else I could say about this episode. I think the main things we pretty much got out of the way. Lab safety, wanting to reverse the whole puppet thing. More lab safety. Sabimaru's DeviantArt account being plagiarized by AI-generated schlock. Spanner making friends with a little girl who may or may not become a talking Kemi, Mara, deranged scientists wants unsanctioned things to happen to create an artificial Kemi. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and also Blastoise is a Kemi now. So yeah, that pretty much covers everything. This episode I give it an 8 out of 10. It's all right. It's got some interesting ideas, and some of which I hope they follow through on. You know, it could improve things from there, but Gotchard's track record. Other ideas, I hope they do not have the balls to pull off, because we're gonna go to some dark places if they do, and I do not want to be there if and when it happens, because it's gonna be horribly dark. If they did, and I know they won't. They're not gonna. I'm calling them out on it. I'm calling their bluff. They're not gonna do it. What I think about what might happen in the next episode, honestly, it's gonna be a basic 2-part episode. If they're gonna make 100-second Kemi, I really hope they follow through and make more, because it just feels weird to just randomly make 100-second Kemi and just the one extra Kemi, and to have it be something as generic as, a turtle with a cannon. Where have we seen that before? Oh yeah, in Pokemon. I know what you're thinking. What about Kamen Rider V3? It also had a turtle with a cannon. Yes, they did. But do you really expect me to give Gotchard that much credit that they're going to make a turtle cannon as an homage to V3? Revice could do that. In fact, I have that turtle vice stamp right over there. But do I believe they can pull this off in Gotchard of all places? Hell no. Oh, by the way, really funny story. Today, when I was at the gym, I saw a dude who had Full Metal Alchemist tattoos. I wanted to make so many Gotchard jokes right in front of him, but I know he wouldn't get the reference. But dang, the dude had a homunculus tattoo and that 5-pronged transmutation circle from Brotherhood that was supposed to create the giant eye thing. But what are the odds on the day I'm supposed to talk about a Kamen Rider that uses alchemy? I see a dude with alchemy tattoos. That's really funny. But yeah, that's not related in the slightest bit. I think this is just gonna be a generic 2-part episode. If they're gonna have 100-second Kemi, I expect there to be 108 Kemis at this point. And yes, each one of them could have a fragment of a Philosopher's Stone. That would make it more interesting, because we got the Shiko and Jewel thing going for it, and more. We got a Full Metal Alchemist thing going. And given the fact that 108 minus 101 equals 7, that means we have 7 artificial Kemis. So 7. Okay. Okay, I know some of you might be wondering what I think about the new release pictures of Kamen Rider Gov. Well, I'm not going to talk too much about it until the actual press video comes out, but I'm just glad he's purple. I was hoping that Kamen Rider Gavu is going to be purple, and he is. So, good. The helmet looks a little generic. He looks like a bunny. But honestly, it can't be worse than Gotchard. Let's. I mean, I don't hate Gotchard's costume design. I just hate the writing. Let me know what you guys think about this episode. He came back and still wants gold. I know. There's gold, there's gold, there's gold, this side of gold, baby. Sky to Midas touch, but the writers touch too much. Why didn't he let go of the formula? Now she's stuck till next episode. Yeah. See, here's the thing. Lab safety. If you just follow lab safety rules, none of this will be happening. I make a big deal out of it. Yep, the 100-second. Yeah, Sabi's brother is actually. Here's another thing I did not mention. Sabi's brother is a cold jerk, and he's like, okay, Sabimaru is mouthier in this episode than he is in any other episode in the past. Like this is like how like Silent Bob from the Askew universe, like in the first 4 movies of like The Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, like he only has 1 line in the entire film, but then in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, he gets 2 lines. 2 whole lines in the entire film. And I'm like, oh my god, this is twice as many lines as he got. Same thing with Sabimaru. He's mouthier in this episode. But then his brother's like, you're distracting me with your talking. I'm like, so that's why he has speech anxiety. This actually makes sense. Okay. Still an 8 out of 10. But yeah, things are making sense here. Also, bleep you, Sabi's brother. You're an asshole. Okay, welcome to the Kongu Laboratories. In Kongu's laboratory, every kid gets his own Isaac, which kind of makes Isaac himself not so special, because if everyone is special, then nobody is special. Okay, let's move on. Spanner gets another L by a little girl, naturally. Is the amalgam a turtle or can both? The amalgam is a Blastoise. Yeah. Another L this time. It's being a Ken. Oh yes, and yes, in the fight scene, Spanner is shot out of a cannon when they use the pilot wheel, and it is funny. It is funny. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of funny. Meet Kame Dune power level 0, but it's unstable. Yeah. Lol, Blastoise Kame. Exactly. Next episode, Dread is back, but who's the user? It's probably Grayon. I hope not. It'd be cool if Sabimaru became Dread again, but he has like this whole character moment where it's like, I now embrace Dread as part of myself. I will use Dread for good. I will redeem myself after what happened in episodes 10 through 12. Like, that is a way to like make it cool. Oh, sorry, episodes 11 through 13, I guess. I hope they don't break his tablet at the end. Honestly, that is a great way to promote his character. Make it a situation where he no longer needs Isaac. Sabimaru can like walk on his own 2 feet and speak his natural voice without using a handicap. This would be a great conclusion to that character, honestly. So yeah. I mean, it would be sad if the tablet did break because Isaac is artificially intelligent and, Huma gears. But if Isaac does get destroyed, then we can honestly say it's like this could force Sabimaru to talk on his own and embrace Dread naturally, So here's hoping for a good episode. Well, that's it for the episode. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. We do Kamen Rider Arc. You almost got me there. We do Ultraman Arc on Mondays, starting next week. First episode. Awesome. Then, actually, Ultraman Arc is going to premiere this weekend, but we're going to discuss it on Monday, this upcoming week. Kamen Rider Gotchard on Wednesdays, Bakage Sentai Boom Boomger on Thursdays. But this week, because it's July 4th, we're moving it to July 5th, which is a Friday. And of course, on Sundays, Kamen Rider 5s. So be sure to watch and enjoy to your heart's content all the tokusatsu content we are providing. We will also be appearing on at Power Morphicon 2024 at Pasadena Pasadena Convention Center on August 23rd to the 25th. So if you want to say hi to us in person, that is your next opportunity to do so. There's gonna be a lot of amazing Ranger actors there. So many Jungle Fury actors are gonna be there, and that's my favorite season. So I'm particularly excited for that. Also, check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do various movie reviews. This weekend, we're gonna be discussing the 1990 film Pump Up the Volume, starring Christian Slater. It's a great film about pirate radios and the effect that schools have on uncertain teenagers and whatnot. It's a fantastic film, and of course, we released several vlogs recently. The most recent of which was Robo Toy Fest, so be sure to check that out. If you want to follow me on my personal content, you could find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. And for those of you who are going to be at Anime Expo, I hope you're going to be really safe, really hydrated, especially hydrated. It's super hot outside. We are currently at the apex of the heat in the northern hemisphere. So make sure that you take all the necessary precautions, even if you're not, going to a convention. Just stay safe out there. And I hope to see you guys really soon. Have a good one. Happy July 4th. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.